Signing up for a streaming service takes you about 30 seconds. One email, one card number, done. So why does canceling that exact same service sometimes take 5 clicks, 3 menus, a customer service chat, and a mysterious "Are you sure?" screen that shows up twice? That gap, 30 seconds to sign up, 10 minutes to leave, isn't a technical limitation. It isn't an accident of bad app design either. It's a deliberate business strategy, and it has an actual name in the industry: friction. The harder you make it for someone to leave, the more people simply give up halfway through and stay subscribed, even when they genuinely wanted to cancel.
And this isn't a fringe complaint from a few annoyed customers. It's been serious enough that US regulators have gotten directly involved, including formal legal action against major companies for exactly this kind of behavior. We'll get into the details of that fight a little later, because the outcome might surprise you. But here's the deeper point of this video. The second you understand why this friction exists and the specific psychological tricks hiding inside it, you stop losing money to subscriptions you forgot you even had. It's about how something as ordinary as a monthly charge can quietly become something you never really agreed to keep paying for.
Let's look at what's actually happening on screen when you try to cancel something, because researchers have a specific term for this pattern: the Roach Motel design. Easy to get in, deliberately difficult to get out. One of the clearest documented examples involved a major online subscription company that federal regulators accused of burying its cancellation option deep inside account menus, forcing customers through multiple screens, promotional offers, and even a mandatory survey before they could finally cancel. According to that complaint, some users couldn't even cancel from a mobile device at all. They had to switch to a desktop computer just to finish the process.
Then there's a second trick layered on top, something researchers call confirm shaming. That's the guilt trip language you see on cancel buttons. Phrases like, "No thanks, I don't want to save money," just to decline a discount offer. It's designed to make the simple act of leaving feel emotionally uncomfortable, so you second-guess a decision you'd already made. And here's the part that matters most. None of this is illegal by accident or oversight. It's carefully tested. Companies run these exact flows through user experience research, specifically to find the version that keeps the most people subscribed. You're not imagining that it's harder than it should be. It genuinely is, on purpose.
So why does this actually work on us, even when we know logically exactly what's happening? Part of it comes down to something psychologists call the sunk cost effect. Once you've already invested time, whether that's building a watch list, training an algorithm to know your taste, or just getting used to a service, canceling can feel like throwing that investment away, even though the money's already spent either way, and canceling doesn't undo it.
Part of it is something we actually touched on in an earlier video about casinos: disassociation. A monthly subscription charge is small, automatic, and practically invisible. It doesn't feel like spending money the way handing over cash does, because you never consciously decide to pay it each month. It just quietly happens in the background. That's precisely why companies prefer monthly billing over a single upfront charge. Not because it's more convenient for you, because it's easier for your brain to ignore. And then there's simple decision fatigue. After clicking through 2 or 3 screens just trying to cancel, plenty of people mentally give up. Not because they changed their mind, but because the friction itself became more annoying than just staying subscribed for one more month. Multiply that by millions of subscribers, and you start to see exactly why this design choice isn't a bug. For the company, it's the entire point.
Now, here's a part of the story that a lot of people online actually get wrong, so let's set the record straight. Back in 2024, the Federal Trade Commission finalized what became known as the click-to-cancel rule, a regulation that would have legally required companies to make canceling a subscription just as easy as signing up for one. It sounded like a clean, simple fix. But in July of 2025, a federal appeals court actually struck that rule down, ruling that regulators hadn't properly followed the legal process required to put it in place. So, contrary to what you might have seen repeated online, there currently isn't one single federal law forcing companies to make cancellation simple. That said, this fight is far from over.
As of early 2026, the FTC formally restarted the rulemaking process, signaling they intend to try again with a version that can hold up legally. And in the meantime, roughly 30 US states have passed their own subscription and auto renewal laws, some of which are actually stricter than the federal rule that got struck down. So the honest, accurate picture right now is this. Protection varies significantly depending on where you live. It's actively evolving, and until it's fully settled, the responsibility for catching these tricks largely falls on you. So let's bring this together. Subscription cancellation is deliberately engineered friction, tested and refined to keep you paying even after you've decided to stop. Some of it may eventually be reined in by regulation. Some of it, realistically, probably won't be, at least not anytime soon. But here's the good news. Once you actually understand the tactic, it mostly stops working on you. That guilty confirm shaming button, you can recognize it for exactly what it is and click past it without a second thought. That sunk cost feeling, recognizing it as a psychological trick, not a real reason to stay, makes it far easier to let go of. This really comes down to something older and simpler than any modern marketing trick, being a thoughtful steward of what you have, rather than letting a screen quietly make decisions for you. Set a calendar reminder before any free trial ends. Do a quick pass through your bank statement once a month and actually read every recurring charge on it. Small habits like that put you back in control of decisions that companies have specifically designed to happen without your full attention. If this helped you see subscriptions a little differently, subscribe. This is part of an ongoing series breaking down exactly how everyday systems are designed to influence you. And let me know in the comments, how many subscriptions did you just realize you're still paying for?